While we're all at home here, staying safe, I thought it might be a nice opportunity for us to do a little taste comparison for you here today. We're in Sonoma, beautiful day outside. Everyone's doing their best to comply with the government regulations, but we're all maybe getting a little bit bored at home. And one thing I thought might be fun would be to bring to you a little video of a comparison of a couple of our wines today with a little bit of food and talk a little bit about how those work together. The first one I'd like to talk about today is the Chateau Garçonnière Rosé. This is a wine that we've been importing from France since 2016. I had really fallen in love with Provence Rosé and decided to go over there and see if we could find someone to work with. And we met the Bonant family, and Stephanie Bonant is the winemaker. Wonderful family relationship that we have with them. So this is the 2018, and this is made up of Grenache and Cinsault, 75% Grenache, and it just really works really well with grilled foods and salads and the kinds of things that we're going to be looking to have here in the next few weeks as we get into spring and early summer. The next wine that I'm also excited about using here today is the Grenache Blanc, which is wine that we produced in 2013. And the fruit came from a vineyard called Camp 4 Vineyard, which is in Santa Ynez, California, pretty close to Los Olivos, and where the Sideways movie was filmed. And this is a vineyard that was planted by Fess Parker. He planted it in 1999. I think the first fruit was really harvested in 2003. I believe there are 256 acres planted, and they have so many of the Rhone varietals there. It's has just proven to be a really wonderful location for these Rhone varietals. The microclimate there just seems to be perfectly suited for them. You really get warm days, which I think these varietals need, but you still have that ocean influence coming in through the Santa Rita Hills all the way in Santa Ynez Valley. So this again is a wine that we made from 2013. The first time we sourced this fruit was 2010. The wine has wonderful acidity and beautiful. Again, there's some tropical fruit and melon here that we'll get into a little more with the food and the tasting. But and at this point, it's developed to the point where there's a little bit of a nuttiness on the nose that just adds that other layer of complexity. So this wine, when you get it in the glass, you see this really beautiful kind of yellow pale straw color, and once again the aromatics here are just so fabulous that for me a good part of the experience of enjoying wine is all about the aromatics and seeing those complex flavors in the glass and how they develop over time. And certainly this wine in particular is a great example of that. You really get that flavor development now. At 2013, it's been in the bottle for a while, and there's a real richness there. You almost get a little bit of a petrol kind of a character along with the fruit flavors. I certainly think there's a lot of apple, maybe pear, almost some baked apple kind of quality to it, baked green apple. And so these two wines are really going to be fun to pair with this dish today. What we have here is a salad that is composed of spring greens and a little goat cheese and some almonds that have been browned, and The dressing is very simple. It's just a really excellent olive oil and a little bit of rice wine vinegar, which has a sweetness to it that I think really adds to the dish significantly. We're gonna pair that salad with this roasted chicken breast that I have here today. And for all the dishes that I do on the grill, for the most part, pork, chicken, I always love to use brine the day before because I think it really adds a quality to the finished product that is really important for me. You know, your brine can be anything, pork or chicken, primarily salt and sugar, but then you add all the components, whatever seems to suit your fancy. For me, if I'm doing chicken, I leave it pretty simple and don't get into too many complex flavors. But if I'm doing something like pork, like a pork shoulder or a pork loin, then I really want to experiment, whether it's with some Asian influences. You can actually put brown sugar, soy sauce. You can use fennel seed. You can just let your flavor palate run wild and create what you think is going to work best for you. But doing that brining overnight just creates an amazing quality in the final product, where the tenderness, the juiciness, and the flavor is amazing. So today we have this chicken breast, and I think it's a perfect pairing once again with the salad and with these wines. So let's go ahead and get into it and do a little tasting and see how these wines show up against the food. So as we cut into this chicken breast, you know, we're getting all these wonderful flavors, aromas coming off the chicken and the dressing from the salad, and I'm really anxious to taste this and see how these flavors are going to work together. You can almost use a little bit of the dressing as a little accompaniment to the chicken. Wow. It's just simple but so perfect, and it's why this time of year in the springtime it's so easy to do simple grilled foods and add something, you know, a nice vegetable, nice salad component. Here we've got, with this salad, we've got the goat cheese, which is really tangy and creamy and adds an amazing flavor to the dish. The toasted almonds that you can purchase slivered or sliced almonds, take them home and brown them in a skillet so that they really develop that flavor from the browning technique, and it adds a bunch to the salad. Let's give it a try. This is one of my favorite salads. It the tartness of the goat cheese, the rice wine vinegar has that little sweetness to it, and then you get that real total richness from that olive oil, and all of that coming together. You get that nuttiness from the almonds. Let's give these wines a try and see which one works best. I think I'm going to try the Grenache Blanc first. A little bit of that nuttiness on the nose. I think it might work really well. You know, it's just developed into a complex wine at this point, where you get that little petrol thing on the nose, and then it develops into those fruit flavors in the mouth, expands, and the whole time all that bracing acidity is there. There's a minerality to the wines that come from Santa Rita, Santa Ynez Valley. Richard Sanford always told me the story how it was an ancient seabed, and he said it was the schist that's in that soil that really is kind of that common thread that you see in all the wines of that area. And for me, it shows in kind of a way that becomes a minerality quality. And I really love the wines from that area. I like the way the wine's showing with the dish, especially the greens. You know, I can taste a little bit of some spicy arugula in there, and it kind of brings to life the wine. Let's try this rosé. I'm so sold on these aromatics. I'm just in love with this wine, and this is my go-to, especially in the springtime, especially with grilled food, salads, this kind of thing. Get it chilled down. I love to have a nice big ice bucket so you can keep the wine in the ice and keep it cold. You know, in Provence, they sit out on the plaza in Saint-Tropez, and they have ice in their glass, and they like to have their rosé served cold. But for me, as long as I've got a bucket of ice close by, keeping it at that temperature makes it all that much more enjoyable. You know, the beautiful aromatics, floral, these tropical notes just are so inviting. Just fills the palate, fills the mouth. Really, really nice, full mouth feel. You get that finish with the acidity from this fruit, which is what again makes it work so well with the food. But you know, I guess I would say that between these two wines for this particular dish, the Grenache Blanc really works well with the salad particularly, but I guess I would say that overall when you take the chicken, you know, that the crisp chicken skin and the fattiness from that, I think for me the rosé would probably be the better choice for the dish. If you're just having the salad, Grenache Blanc. So, you know, this has been a lot of fun for me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm going to look forward to enjoying the rest of the dish. And I want to thank Ethan, my director here. This has been a lot of fun for us, and we hope to maybe do more of these for you in the future. Thank you very much.